We're going to talk about the West region now, and as a matchup, it's an East Coast matchup. They should be playing this game at Giants Stadium, or Giant Center, I should
Martz
say.
Hall. How about Martz Hall?
Martz Hall would be pretty sweet.
Fabled Martz Hall.
But you know what? Temple and Penn State, put them right in the middle, about Hershey somewhere, Martz wherever, Harrisburg Farm Show Arena, like the old days, Carlisle.
Or Tucson, Arizona.
Yeah, great idea.
Whatever the logistics play out.
The biggest thing there is the fans, if you play it close by, and that's what this NCAA tries to do in the first couple of rounds, they went against it. I've gone back and forth who to pick in this game, guys. Temple's the 7th seed, Penn State's a 10th. You know, who's better here?
I don't think Penn State has enough firepower. They showed that in the Big Ten championship game. It was basically all Battle or Jeff Brooks, and then after that, the rest of the team shot 6 for 22. And plus, Temple's bigger. They have a nice point guard in Juan Fernandez, who I really like, by the way. I just don't think that Penn State has enough to get it done against Temple.
Temple defensively does a great job of keeping you out of the lane, keeping dribble penetration out of the lane. So I think as much as any game in the tournament, comes down to one guy. If Battle's going to monopolize the ball, if he can make threes, I think Penn State has a real shot. If not, I
love that kid. I think he's a tremendous player.
He's a tough guy.
He's got a big heart. He plays his butt off. I mean,
but he's not going to effectively get in the lane against Temple. He's got to make threes. If he makes threes, I think they have a real shot. If not, I like Temple.
Separate question. Taylor Battle, NBA player?
I was just thinking that. I wonder. Undersized, though, isn't he?
Probably too small. But he plays forever in Europe, probably. He's really good.
Yeah, I think he's questionable for the NBA.
Yeah. But I think somebody will take him to camp just to give him a look. Because his numbers are unbelievable.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Had a great career.
Yeah, it's one of these things with Penn State. It's every 4 years or 5 years to make the tournament. Wow, I wonder why they can't get the consistency up
Nobody
there.
wants to go there to play
basketball. It's recruiting. It's about recruiting.
All it is.
They don't have enough players.
No Philly players ever gone there. Basically, they get the guys who fall through the cracks, like Taylor Battle, Joe Crispin, guys like that. Like kind of the second and third tier guys who get better as they go along.
I think the right coach with the right approach could change that a little bit. I mean, Jamie Dixon gets a big piece of Philadelphia and a big piece of New York City.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the right guy could change it, but that's the problem, no doubt.
Of course.
A couple other matchups here. Let's jump right into Duke.
To me, Duke would have been, if Irving doesn't get hurt, I think they would be the favorite because Irving was really good. And, there's talk now that he might come back, but what if he does, what do you get from to me, they're way too three happy. They're going to have a game where they shoot, 7 for 35 from 3 and lose. That's what I think.
I can't imagine Smith and Singler going out of the tournament in their senior year in the second round, but I think that game against Tennessee is scary for them. Yeah. I think that's a scary matchup for them, and that could change. You talk about brackets, that could really change the complexion of the whole tournament if Tennessee can find a way to win that game.
But I mean, you hit on something important though. They have 2 seniors who are real gamers, and
really, really good
Nolan
players.
Smith
and
Kyle
guys.
Singler, and Nolan Smith, son of Derek Smith, the late Derek Smith,
the late great.
So there's a question too. Nolan Smith, NBA player?
Yeah,
I think probably.
Yeah, I think so.
I think he's got the intangibles.
Yep.
He has a toe injury. He's playing through it, but how much will that play a factor when you've got, Thursday, Saturday, Friday?
He had a great game right after.
He can be fun. The big guy for Duke has been the problem. He has been inconsistent. They seem to, when he's on, they're on.
Yeah, those guys. I mean, to me, that's Irving makes those guys so much better because he beats his guy, and then they have to help, and then he gets those guys dunks.
Should he play?
Should Irving play?
Oh, you have to be a doctor.
I don't know. I mean, it's been since early December since he played. I think if he's going to play, they should try him in like a first-round game where it's like low pressure. They should try him and see what he can do.
That's a good point. Yes.
I'll buy that. And if he can give them 15 minutes from there on out, then it's a bonus.
It's just another weapon you have to defend if you give him a little bit of time that first game. I got to ask you guys, we're watching our time here, we're not trying to be too long. San Diego State, I don't know what to do with these guys.
They're the one team that I have the hardest time getting a handle on. I saw them play once. The reputation is they have they're very athletic and they have a hard time scoring. I saw him play once for a whole game, and that's totally the impression that I got.
Right.
It was against Brigham Young.
Right.
I didn't even think they were that impressive defensively in that game.
Right.
So they've got to be better than they seem to me based on the fabled eye test.
Right.
But I don't know. I can't fall in love with San Diego State.
32-2 though. 32.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. That's
in any league that's pretty darn good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go to the Final Four here. Who do we got? Gordy.
Final Four. Oh boy, you're putting me on the spot real quick off the top.
Who's coming out of this region?
I want to say Duke, but I don't for reasons I just mentioned. I don't completely trust them. But I mean, I can't see who would be the better option out of that region either.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Give me Texas.
I got Arizona coming out of it.
Wow.
Boy,
way out.
that's
no limb, Starkey. Okay, there you have it.
I got Arizona beating Duke, and they go on and beat San Diego State.